Well, the Colts and Seahawks game wrapped up a little while ago. Tonight, we're going to be taking to the city of jazz, gumbo, and oh yeah, one of the loudest fan bases in all of football. Can the Denver Broncos, looking to go 14-1 to hide the only loss they've had in this tournament in Week 10, can they knock off those Saints and conquer the Superdome? Or will the Saints upset those mile-high Broncos? Denver and New Orleans coming up next. Today's uniform preview, the Broncos will be in their white top and bottom. The New Orleans Saints will be in their all-black jerseys inside the Superdome. Weather is not going to be a factor because it's a freaking dome. Bit of a fun fact about the Superdome. In 2005, when the Saints went 3-13 and picked up Reggie Bush in the following year's draft, the Superdome was actually used as a shelter of sorts to protect the citizens of New Orleans from Hurricane Katrina. Very scary time, and obviously on a Monday night in September 2006, emotions were in the air as we are live from a very rocking Superdome. Thank you for spending your Friday evening with some football. Tonight, as you look at the Broncos sideline, the All-Pro linebacker Von Miller. Expect him to go after Drew Brees tonight, and expect him to just pound Drew Brees. And looks like we're going to be seeing the Broncos defense as we're getting ready to kick off. Saints back deep. McManus gets the signal, and we are underway from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. As Brandon Cooks will take the knee and come out, and the Saints will start at the 25, led by Drew Brees. The Purdue legend, very detailed in his preparation, very almost nuanced, and really focuses on all the nuances of his game. And he's got some toys. He's got Mark Ingram to his right, or to his back. Got Brandon Cooks, Willie Snead, and Mike Thomas. Brees with a strong eye, and you can give him a gain of 5 on the play. It was kind of odd the Broncos went to a zone defense on the run, because Mark Ingram will exploit it. Second down and 5. Empty set, C.J. Spiller and Fleener. The tight ends. Brees from the shotgun. Fires incomplete. And it looked like, you can tell it was intended. It was Brandon Cooks. As we look at the Saints offense, where tonight we're going to be highlighting Mark Ingram, former Heisman Trophy winner, a lot of speed, and he's also improved his catching ability over the years since he was drafted. Third and medium. Here, empty set as they go after him, and it's caught by Fleener, and he trips over Talib, and he is gone. Touchdown, Saints. Wow. In that situation, you would have called a soft blitz or something, because you just gave up 6 points to the New Orleans Saints. Never let Drew Brees play with a blitz early in the game, because he will exploit it. By the way, historically, the last time the Broncos lost against the New Orleans Saints was all the way back in 2004 when they had Wade Phillips as a coach. Sorry, Dan Reeves is their 7-9 record. As McCown is the place kicker, and that'll be the point after. Kobe Fleener with a 70-yard Shannon Sharp-style touchdown reception. It looks like we got the Saints going to give it to the Broncos. Let's see how they respond. Norwood will take it, and he's going to try to reverse field, still on his feet, and he's down at the 23. And out comes Dylan Murway, still making highlight reel moves and dazzling him with his cannon arms and his speed. How he will do that against a tough Saints defense, we won't know. Well, tough line anyway. The Saints secondary has a lot of work to do. First and 10. Anderson up the middle and tripped for a gain of 2 fairly. And the stop as we look at the Broncos offensive line. Today we're going to highlight C.J. Anderson. Reminds me of another certain running back that played for the Broncos and has a lot of Hall of Fame potential. Shame he was let go in 2018. Second down and 8. Fires, and he got clobbered there by number 24. It was their corner, it looked like. Third down and 8. He was trying to let it go, but instead it fell short.
Third down and 8. Yelling some things out here to the receivers. From the shotgun.
Murway fires, and it's caught by Hillman. Lays a spin move, and it is a 16-yard gain on the play by Ronnie Hillman and the Denver Broncos.
Simple slant route.
Nice little slant.
Nice hard throw by the quarterback. Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver.
Really was able to
and he put it right on it on the
land a nice little dot to Ronnie Hillman. Does a nice little spin move too. Add that to the highlight reel for tonight.
And now after the catch, the offense for the
first down and 10 from the 41 of Denver. Sanders to his left, Virgil Green at tight end, Jordan Norwood and Demaryius Thomas to the right, and Anderson to Murway's left. Murway sidearms it to Green, and he gets the first down.
Always good to move the chain, so nice job by the quarterback to find his.
Normally when you throw, it's always and run and throw. It's always recommended to throw to the left, but sometimes that was friggin' Patrick Mahomes pass. Watch this. Let's look at the replay here. So watch 7. We're going to go his face and watch the ball. So he gets a snap, looks, sees the blitz, rolls to his right. Look at that. He was rolling. He was anticipating a blitz and a takedown. First down and 10 from the New Orleans 47 after that little run. See what C.J. Anderson can do. Anderson takes the snap, runs, breaks through, and is into the secondary. 20-10 touchdown Broncos.
That drive happened quickly, which is great because they score the points, but their defense has to come right back out on the field. It is exciting, isn't it, for the offense to do that? The defense is saying, okay, that's cool, but let's not make it a habit. We need to get some rest sometime.
So we're going to get ready for the extra point.
And the point after coming up.
PAT is up. Lynch is the place kicker. And the PAT is good. So CJ Anderson with a 47-yard touchdown run to end the drive. Now let's see what the Saints will do under Sean Payton. Kick is in the air. Murphy will run it out. Oh, wow, he got smothered by Todd Davis at 21. As we look at the Saints. Chant. That's definitely an issue for road teams when they come into places like this, Arrowhead, any dome stadium for that matter.
And on first down. Motion now for the tight end.
And they have to deal with that crowd noise. And he sidelines it to Fleener, who gets 10 yards on the play.
Brandon, he really fired that one in there. Excellent arm strength. And if I'm the receiver, I'm shaking my hands after that one.
So as Fleener gets to his right, there's a nice little toe dance. And was he in? As Kubiak is going to call a challenge on the play. Throws it out. Let's see if that was challengeable. There's Sean Payton to his left, Kubiak to the right. Oh yeah. You have to keep the ball inbounds for it to be a catch. Does he make control or get control? Like he caught it and looked like he was about to fall on his face.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off. And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge. And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way. At the end of the day, it all comes back to
first down and 10, law stands.
In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
Breeze dumps to Ingram, who gets stopped by, looks like Derek Wolfe.
And then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
And speaking of Derek Wolfe, he's the defensive player we're going to be highlighting tonight here in the Superdome. And Aqib Talib, probably one of the best veteran corners Denver's had since Champ Bailey, along with him and Chris Harris, who, according to Champ Bailey, said he was bringing Darren Williams and Carnett. Second down and 11. Ingram gets the carry, gets about 3. Play.
Points to the defense. They just swarmed, made the tackle. They get to go back to the huddle feeling awfully good about themselves.
Now looks like they might be going to pass here, so time to see what Denver can do. Keep in mind, this is what we mentioned earlier. This is a win or die game for the Saints. If the Saints lose, they're done. Then the Buccaneers will clinch the South by default. And Miller gets to him.
And on that one, the protection just broke down. You gotta have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about
what protection? Look at this. Who else but Von Miller? If you're a veteran quarterback, you better pay attention to number 58. Because if you don't, he'll make you pay. He will make you pay. So we're going to see a Emmanuel Sanders going to get the punt here on 4th and 16. Sanders trying to move, and he gets down at the 39. Here, 14-yard gain for Emmanuel Sanders. First down, 10 from the 39. We also like to remind you the rest of the games will be shown on Saturday with one Sunday night. That is the Pats and Rams. on Sunday. That is on NBC. Murway lobs it and gets clobbered again. So far, the defensive line's been on it tonight. You can give credit to number 53 for the sack. So far, yard-wise, New Orleans has had more yards, which is the first time that's been the case since the Steelers game week 6, as Virgil Green gets the first down.
Really nicely executed curl route. What you're trying to do is get the defense think you're running a go route or straight up the field, and then you're going to break back towards the quarterback. On the other end, the
quarterback's go route by the tight end.
It tells him you're coming back towards him and deliver the ball at that second.
It's been a pretty interesting first quarter here so far from New Orleans. So far, the game is tied 7-all. Murway is going to run it. And nope, wide open is Sanders, who gets down at the 1. Nice little rollout. That's what Dylan does best. Nice little bootleg route. And tries to do a nice little strike right into the numbers of Emmanuel Sanders.
Just haven't had a lot of points. Quarter 2 is on the way, but first, this timeout.
And here's some highlights. The Broncos really blew it on defense in the first play of the game. One of the first plays of the game drive for the Saints. That led to a touchdown. C.J. Anderson says, "Hold my beer." And this is a little play for the end. He lobs it for Sanders, who really almost had a touchdown to end the half. Right here. Back here at the Superdome. The game is tied 7-all here. Denver Broncos and New Orleans Saints on NFL Network.
And now after the catch, the offense will
First and goal from the 1. Saints in the goal line. And he's going, and that's a touchdown for the Broncos. It's a 1-yard scramble for Dylan Murway. Shades of Peyton Manning against the Cowboys much.
Normally they get out of the pocket and they're thinking, how do I find someone open to throw it to? In this case, with all that yardage ahead of him, he took off and gained it.
Yeah, all 1. So that is the second rushing touchdown, that is, for Dylan Murway. 3rd of the year. And he does have some jets. If he needs to, he will run it. Which is notable for the Broncos this year, is having that dual threat quarterback, which makes your life so much easier.
And a touchback as he goes down to a knee.
So, and so after this one, see if the Saints respond. 1st and 10, and nice little pump fake as they're trying to strip the ball, and Sylvester Williams get the stop. Second down and 9.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Enjoy the next 30 minutes of unlimited.
2 tight end sets.
Second down and 9 from the 26. Breeze, Ingram, and piled on by the 93 that time.
As this game continues, the offensive line has
Sylvester
to do a better
Williams
job
again
of
got
creating
to him.
space for the running back.
Yeah, sorry, Jared Craig.
let's see what third down brings here for the offense. And the big tight end shifting around.
They're down and 8. Fleener goes in motion. Breeze drops shotgun. Hit again by Wolf.
Second time in this game he's been brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
That is the second sack of the night for the Broncos.
Was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big time sack.
So he comes in, nobody picks up Wolf, or he just overpowers the O-line, or his match. So for the second time on a drive, the Saints go 3 and out, followed by a sack that led him 3 and out. So see what they do. And looks like the ball's going to go to Sanders, who flubs the punt, flag on the play, and 17-yard return, and that one's coming back. And it looks like it might be on TJ Ward, and Kubiak is hot right now. That's not sure why that's the case. So, yep. Another lot of clipping penalties in this tournament for a lot of teams on kickoffs, notably the Patriots had 2, Cyrus Jones and Julian Edelman, believe it or not. Yeah, Julian Edelman, of all people, busted for clipping. 1st and 10, Murway dumping to Anderson, right side. Spin move, and that will be a gain of about 8 on the play.
Yes, this is where the expression staying ahead of the chains comes into play. Good runs like that one sets you up well for third down. Second down following the run.
So, 2nd and 2, very short 2. Murway, play action, strikes Hyman over the middle, and that will be a pretty huge gain there.
I don't know what you thought, partner, but I thought he was gone after that catch. I thought he was taking that one to the house. How about the defense, though? Never gave up on the play.
Got the first down.
Ran him down.
So that's a stop there by the Saints. Dylan Murway showing off that cannon arm a lot tonight so far. He's been 5 for 7 for 111 yards as a Hyman catch. Fires Hyman again, and that's a gain of 1, so he can make that 6 of 8. So we've hit the 2-minute warning tonight in New Orleans. And 2nd down and 9. 3 receivers to the left, Damaris to the right. Calling a fade for Thomas. Fires, and now it almost gets picked off. And Demaryius Thomas was the intended man on the play.
What do they say all the time? If he had really good hands,
launches it a couple weeks ago. He was involved in a pretty memorable series of events. After a late hit on Dylan Murway that took him out for a good majority of the game until the last play of regulation, Paxton Lynch fired a pass to Demaryius Thomas, but he saw he was going to get hit, so he has the awareness to flip it. But the ball was there. Luckily, C.J. Anderson caught it. Otherwise, that would have been a very ugly meeting on Tuesday. Because the Vikings so far were probably the hardest team for the Broncos to deal with, as Murway fires a laser bullet for Demaryius Thomas. Back to the air. He's going to run the fake, and he's going to get taken out, and it's a 7-yard rush. So here we go. 2nd and 3. Murway again passing. He's really liked the passing game as he overthrew his target.
Whether you deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
So that is 3rd and 3. Here. Third and 3 from the New Orleans 23 with 1:33 left. Murway buying some time. And spin moves and gets thrown down for a gain of about 11 as he gets the first.
Just to be able to run around a great deal. Just to be able to slide in the pocket and find open territory.
So 1st and 10 from the 12 from the New Orleans 12. Really just grinding out the clock this time, calling an audible. And Murway runs it. Anderson gets the carry of 4 on the play.
It appears that this offense is just trying to get into a groove by establishing their running game. Small gains as they try to accumulate the yardage that they hope will pay off throughout the game.
So 2nd down and 6. Receivers bunch them to the left. Murway to Norwood, and he catches it for the Broncos touchdown. Quite the traffic jam too, as he fires it. Great awareness, otherwise he'd have thrown it to. Luckily in the play he had Sanders as a backup receiver. However, can't always rely on your backups.
Kicking unit on to add the PAT.
The lead continues to grow for the Broncos as the Broncos have 3 touchdowns. Sorry, 2 touchdown lead over the Saints, 21-7. And it looks like they might get the ball back. They will get the ball back 2nd half, doing more damage to the Saints.
In the kickoff team, they all appear set.
McManus kicks it off. And it is Shane Ray. Tried running to him, but the Saints will kneel it down. And they will start at the 25. First and 10 from the 25. 30 seconds left. Breeze with Ingram in the eye. Pistol formation. Dumps to Ingram as Ware gets to him, and Von Miller does a double team.
Clock management there by the runner. Less than 2 minutes ago in the first half, you get a chance to get out of bounds. That's what you need to do. They're going to lose time after that play.
Yeah, no kidding. Especially when the Denver defense has been doing what they do, putting the fear of God into their opponents.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
2nd down and 14. You believe they're going to be going to a pass. Well, or not, because we have hit halftime. Broncos will receive the 2nd half kickoff.
At intermission with the New Orleans Saints trailing. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And Let's look at some highlights. Number 82 embarrasses the Broncos defense on the opening drive for a 70-yard score. Dylan Murway hands it off to C.J. Anderson, and look at him go. Anderson gets to the 10, touchdown Broncos, game tied 7-all. Dylan Murway plays troll face with the NFL cameras and scores. Dylan Murway does what he does best and launches a pass to Emmanuel Sanders, but he doesn't get in.
And we're back for the second
So
half.
we're back here in the second half. Look at the stats. 66 pass yards, 5 rush yards for the Saints compared to the Broncos, just absolutely demolishing the Saints in pretty much every category like they've been doing all year.
And we are teed up and ready to go.
So, ready for the kickoff.
These two sides come out of the
Norwood
locker room as we
is
get
going
set
to run it
for the third. Here we go.
to the left.
Muscle
Sheds one tackle and gets brought down to 32.
That time on the return, that's where the tackle is made.
And as the tackle stops then and there. So, and the Broncos look to start this half with a run. They've been doing a lot of running touchdowns, not a lot of passing touchdowns. They had one to Norwood late in the first half. Anderson goes to the right, and he gets a block, and goodbye. Touchdown, Broncos. That would be 2 rushing touchdowns for C.J. Anderson and the running touchdown in terms of the year. I think he's broken the count.
Especially the runner himself, able to find a gap and take it the distance.
Look, some of the guys, the linemen are like, man, kid.
So on they come now.
Here we go.
Extra point.
McManus, he's been doing this a lot tonight, and he'll be doing it a lot in postseason when they've locked up home field advantage. So this is definitely not the way the Saints have wanted this game to go. They need this win to not fall 6-9. Otherwise, their hopes are done. So they need something. Anything. It could be an air bomb from Drew Brees himself. Ready for the kickoff as McManus will kick it. See what the Saints do. Murphy kneels it down. Ball will come to the 25. So, here we go. So far, the Broncos defense has just been sending all-out blitzes at the Saints in this game. And it's safe to say it's worked. Brees, shotgun to Snead, and he gets clobbered by Stewart. And that is a first down for the Saints.
This time they go underneath for a simple pitch and catch. And not only do you get the pitch and catch, Brandon, but you're able to keep the receiver moving when you hit him with the drag route.
Nice little drag route from 83. Oh boy. First and 10 from the Denver 42. Three receivers, 2 receivers to the right, 2 tight ends set. Brees wide open, clobbered, and he gets some missed interception by T.J. Ward. And in the exchange, the Saints get the first down.
So he makes the grab, and the change move forward. Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
So that's a nice little catch. TJ Ward nearly had the pick, which would have really made things even worse for the Saints, as we're not seeing a lot of playing time for Mark Ingram so far. Breeze drops, looks, fires, throws it up, and Thomas brings in a huge catch, and the Saints will be at the 10.
Quarterback and receiver working together on that one. The quarterback put it up in the air, the receiver went up and got it over the top of 3 defenders.
Nice little catch there. Trying to go for those hit stick plays. 1st and 10 from the 10. Running play. And Ingram gets stopped by Chris Harris. Came off on the blitz. Gets thrown back onto his face, essentially. 2nd and goal.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Time to see what they can do. Miller trying to move past Breeze, passing in the 12. And he's going to run, and he's going to lob it for nobody. Incomplete.
Sometimes your coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle.
That's a smart play there. 3rd and goal from this 12-yard line.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. And a nickel back on the field for the D.
3rd and goal, Spiller to the left. And that is Breeze continuing to stand, and he gets batted away by Chris Harris.
The offensive line has done a nice job all game long, but on that play, a big win for the defense. Excellent pressure.
Accidentally and purpose maliciously. As Harris came in on the stop. So the Saints are going to have to settle for 3.
He won't need any more than a pitching wedge from this distance.
And the kick is through. So the lead is 28-10. Broncos. So the lead gets shorter. The mountain gets slightly shorter for the Saints to climb. If they want to have any form of playoff hopes, they're going to essentially win and hope Tampa loses. Otherwise, their hopes are gone. Norwood trying to return it, and that is not how. Off to the 40. Oh, he got to midfield. Kind of a great run there by the Broncos, as that adds to their run.
First and 10 now.
1st and 10. Murray Anderson sheds a tackle and gets stopped right there. It was like a Troy Polamalu stop. Second down and 14. So C.J. Anderson is 6 carries for 125 yards, 2 touchdowns, and both of those carries, keep in mind, have been pretty insane carries.
Has some daylight.
And he's going to Michael Vick run it. Spin move. And that's a touchdown.
And the Denver Broncos are in for 6.
That was a Michael Vick run. Dylan Murray just adds another touchdown to this and puts more work for the Saints to come back from. Look at this. Runs. So that's 2 rushing touchdowns in this game for the quarterback. Look at that. Broke his ankles too. Shades of Denver and Pittsburgh, week 6. Watch this. So watch 7. Another run. Comes in, tries to fake. Looks. Didn't really give a lot of time for people to run. And then it was Thomas that crashed into the other guy. And then this point, normally here, you think, get out of bounds, get out of bounds. But here comes 31. Or sorry, 32. It was Kenny Vaccaro. Comes in, misses. Let's get that nice little detail here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And look at this. Broke his ankles on this play. Watch 7. Comes in. Oh, that is... Bird's probably getting an eyeful from Sean Payton as we speak.
And now for the point after.
That's been the theme this game, is Brandon McManus kicking a lot of extra points. Should have gone to that thing. Time to see what the Saints will do, if anything. McManus kicks it off. Brandon Cooks will return this time. And he will kneel it down.
The offense will start at the 20.
Hard to believe the playoffs will start in 3 weeks. If you're the top 2 seeds, well, you won't have to worry for a little bit till the divisional round. So if you're the top 2 seeds in both conferences, you guys get a break.
So the offense
1st and 10. Ingram runs and gets stopped by Wolf.
And down he goes immediately. How about the defensive lineman? That's where good run defense begins, with the guys up front. When they hold the line, hold the point of attack, that allows everyone else to get there and make tackles.
So 2nd down and 8.
2nd down and 8. Quick drive
Breeze,
this time.
quick step, and gets almost clobbered by Brandon Cooks. Todd Davis nearly took him out by the knees. That would have been a dirty play.
The receiver really came together well on that post route.
So 1st and 10
And on first
from the
down,
40. Breeze, right side.
And he's tackled that time by Ward.
And that is negative 4 on the play. TJ Ward will record his first stop of the game.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
2nd and 6.
And the defense comes out
And
of the
Breeze
gun.
drops, looks, gets hit as he throws. And that's a smart, well, got the throwaway, but the pass was out of bounds. So that's a incomplete pass. Brandon Marshall was there on the coverage. And speaking of which, how sad is it that you get cut from Denver, go to Oakland under Gruden, and then get cut from that before the season started? Brandon Marshall, if you're watching this and you're a linebacker, you're a sad individual. Anyways, Saints have a 1 in 4 chance of converting, and that's the 3rd time Drew Brees has been brought down. Von Miller has been all over and acting like he's in Super Bowl 50 again. Let's get the replay here. So watch 58. Miller's been going nuts in this game. Miller's to his right, to the right. DeMarcus Ware's to the left. He's the blue circle. Then he's been doing this all game. Nobody's been covering him. So that just leaves a nice plow for Von Miller to run through. And that is a nice face of black jersey. Third quarter has ended, and
you're witnessing it here in this one. Charles and I will go deep into the notes after this. You're watching the NFL.
This has just been an ugly game. C.J. Anderson broke more Saints defenders, and the Broncos are well on their way to 14-1 in this tournament, with their only loss coming to Indy. And since Indy lost earlier, they're going to host the 4-6 wild card game against the Buffalo Bills. But we won't know that till Sunday night.
Very good close fought game, but that just simply hasn't been the case.
No kidding. It's 4th down and 12, and we start this fourth quarter with Drew Brees trying to make something happen.
The offense will operate from the pistol.
Similar situation as to earlier. Playoff on the line. Harris misses the play, and Brandon Cooks scores. Comeback mounting. Look at that. Breeze lobs it for Brandon Cooks. And Chris Harris tries to play the route and nearly runs the other way. And Brandon Cooks is wide open. What a way to start the half.
And now the kicking team on to try and tack on one more.
And the kicking team is up, and it is good.
The extra point try is converted.
Taysom Hill walking on the sidelines. Saints have hit 201 passing yards. And they're going to go for the onside. And they're going to kick it for Shane Ray, who picks it up, runs the other way, breaks some ankles, and gets brought down at the 48. Saints are obviously loving this. So they're going to line up with three receivers. Anderson to Murway's right. Sheds one and goes nowhere. Well, if you had C.J. Anderson in your fantasy league and this is a real game, would you think he'd be a steal? Watch the rest of the Bronco games that have been taped live during this series. And would you say C.J. Anderson has been a steal? I personally think he would, but depending on your league rules, would you say C.J. Anderson would be a steal? Comment below. Murway, Anderson, right side, and he gets the first down. And huddling back from a broken challenge call to C.J. Anderson and Dylan Murway destroying the Saints secondary with their running game, as Anderson spins and breaks three people for the first down.
And a nice run there to pick up the first down. Good understanding by the runner, knowing where the first down line was and getting there.
Nice little ankle breaker. Wondering how many Saints players have broken ankles after this game. And come on, we had that big run with Dylan Murray laying a spin move on what's supposed to be a Saints tough defense. And C.J. Anderson's been getting into the action. So they're going to let Ronnie Hillman get some carries. That works. He had a smart reception earlier in the game. Not sure what happened there for Ronnie Hillman.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
So, here we go. Murray, Ronnie Hillman, right side, and gets 3 on the play.
Textbook defense, nowhere to go for the runner. They get there, they make the tackle, play over.
Ronnie Hillman's on the field.
Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out.
Murray fires, and that one goes nowhere. It was Emmanuel Sanders who was the intended man on the play. So you try for a 40-yard chip shot. And Lynch. And that's a shank.
Yeah, that kick is no good.
So much for that perfect streak for McManus. Hard to believe he hasn't really been brought on to bring a major field goal since the Denver-Buffalo game. Breeze fires, short pass to Ingram, and gets about 5 on the play.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually.
So 2nd and 5, there's Drew Brees' stats. Hard to believe they said it was a blowout, but so far yard-wise, it's been pretty interesting for Mr. Brees as he brings in the catch. Kind of odd to see the Saints not call a timeout here.
They still have to find a way to score points. And as long as you're not giving those up, you're doing just fine.
Nope.
That, getting toward the end here.
Well, we've hit the 2-minute warning. Here in New Orleans. And what it was billed as a pretty good game is been anything but.
And they'll set up out of the pistol.
Pistol formation for the Saints. Breeze fires, and that is Roby with the stop.
Good throw. Receiver does his job, and it's a first down for the offense. Excellent execution all the way around. Plenty of time for the quarterback and the receiver to work their first down matches. Unable to hit his man there, and it falls to the ground.
So, 2nd down and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. Minute 42 left on their season. The sands of time are running low for those Warriors of the Bayou, as those Broncos of Mile High rush in to improve their insane record. Where? Trying to go, and Coleman drops the pass.
Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before
Minute 37 on the clock.
A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
They can just blitz every freaking play, and it wouldn't even matter for the Saints. Breeze has been sacked 3 times. Fires for Spiller, incomplete. Sorry, Willie Snead. Von Miller who's been all over in terms of edge, and he's just been nuts, to say the least.
So the offense stays on the field.
Breeze, they're going to go for it. They don't know what they're going to do.
Defense going with the corners look.
Breeze drops, looks, fires. Talib with the pick, and that could very well be the hammer in the Saints. The Saints are done. The Saints' hopes are pretty much done at this point. Keep Talib with the interception. It's hard to believe that they went this late with the turnover.
Getting set on first down.
Hard to believe, right? Anderson trying to run, and he gets trashed around for a gain of 4 on the play.
By each and every team. This is an opportunity now for this team to close out their opponent. Championship teams know how to close out games.
That they do. So C.J. Anderson, he's had 10 carries, 157 yards. Longest tonight has been 68.
They'll go on the ground.
Virgil Green gets the first.
Before he's taken down the ground. And they're going to speed things up here. Running play out of the eye. Tackle there by
That'll be it from New Orleans. As Denver goes to 14-1, and Aqib Talib basically killed any hope the Saints had left in this tournament. "12 seconds left, and the Broncos have clinched the AFC conference tonight. And that'll be it from New Orleans, as the Broncos win this one in a 35-17 fashion. And congratulations to Denver. And New Orleans has been knocked out of playoff contention. So with this win, Tampa does not matter if they beat Pittsburgh or lose to Pittsburgh, Tampa has pretty much won the South by default. Pretty nutty highlight reel tonight from this game for the Broncos, especially Miller sacking Drew Brees several times, Derek Wolfe getting in on the action, Dylan Murray doing some Michael Vick type stuff, C.J. Anderson even breaking some ankles. Look at this. Watch this. Comes in. Whoop. Comes in again. Whoop. And that's a touchdown. So the rest of the games you'll see tomorrow, beginning with the Buccaneers and Steelers at noon on CBS. Finals that so long, and have a pleasant night from New Orleans.